Hi everyone and welcome to the channel, and I'm here for a rant video for you guys. Now for this rant, I'm going to sort of make a response to a video that I've seen recently by the punk rock MBA who discussed the problems with progressive music. Now, this is a video that I actually watched twice to basically fully gather everything, I guess. So, I do have some problems with this video, and I do want to make a response to it since, well, you guys know that I am a big prog head. I do think progressive music is actually probably the best style of music that's out there, to be honest. And this MBA punk rock guy is absolutely insane. He really is, because, you know, the things that he was saying about progressive music, about how there's no hooks or catchiness, and how they really don't make songs. And that was his argument in this video, is that progressive rock and progressive metal bands, they don't know how to make songs. Now, I don't know if he was mainly referring to classic prog or modern prog, because, well, I am someone who does prefer classic prog, so, I mean, if he wants to make this argument about modern prog, I mean, I really got no say in that, because I'm not really into much modern prog besides maybe a couple bands. But the fact that progressive music bands don't know how to write actual songs is just absolutely ridiculous. I mean, yeah, Dream Theater, they don't make catchy songs. Yeah, definitely not. Not songs that are super, I guess, mainstream or, you know, that appeal to people or whatever. Meanwhile, I think Dream Theater is a very easy band to get into. I know some people who aren't even metalheads that do like some Dream Theater songs. And what about Rush? I mean, you can't say that Rush doesn't have any catchy songs. I mean, look at the songs that they've done in the 80s time. Same with Yes, and even Genesis. Look at the songs that they've done in the 80s. I mean, all these bands, those progressive rock bands, they went a little more mainstream in the 80s, so you can't say that they don't appeal to the masses. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't appeal to the mainstream audience because they're too complex or proggy or whatever. So I don't know where he's coming from with this idea that, prog bands don't know how to make actual music. And just because you know how to play guitar doesn't mean you know how to play actual music or whatever. And that guitars are not actually songs. But whoever said that the guitars were the only good thing about progressive music? I'll be one to say it. I don't think that, you know, it's just instruments that matter when it comes to getting into bands. You know, the vocals matter too. Actually, the vocals are a pretty big deal for me whenever I get into a band. So to say that, you know, progressive music fans, they only like progressive music just because of the guitars is kind of foolish. Now, yes, I do think that the bands that I've mentioned, like Dream Theater and Rush, they have excellent guitar work. But that's not everything, and that's not to say that I believe that that should be everything in prog. And to say that guitars aren't music is just foolish, because what about instrumentals? Heck, there's non-prog bands that make instrumentals. Are those not considered songs just because there's no vocals attached to them? What's going on here? You know, like, that's just a really lame argument, I think. But something that the punk rock MBA said that kind of really, really made me mad, and it's just absolutely delusional, I think. And it's the fact that he thinks that people need to grow out of this style of music. People need to grow out of prog, apparently. You know what? You're right. I should just move on from prog. You know what? I should just, you know, not care about Dream Theater or Yes or Rush as much for the sake of being into more simple music. Simple music that caters to people who haven't musically progressed and have no musical patience, who can't handle complexity in music. See, in my book, to me, it's growing out of more simplistic music that sounds a little more reasonable, that sounds a little more, I guess, realistic, I guess. Because I used to be someone that, you know, mostly preferred more simplistic music. And then I moved on to prog. Like, does this guy think that, like, people get into more progressive sounding music, rock and metal, and then more simplistic music in rock and metal? That's just silly to me. So, I don't know what was up with this video, but I just found it to be absolutely ridiculous and silly. I don't agree with it for the most part. I really don't. And obviously, that video got a lot of mixed responses, of course. And the opinion thing is something to mention as well. I mean, to a degree, this guy is kind of like being an elitist, I guess. And to say that, they don't know how to make good songs, like prog bands make bad songs, well, here I am thinking that prog bands make some of the best songs there is. I mean, some of the greatest musicianship that you will ever find is in prog, I think. And that's not to say that, I dislike non-prog bands, like bands that are a little more simplistic. I like a little bit of everything in rock and metal. So, yeah, there is that as well. So, I just thought that video from the Punk Rock MBA about the problem with progressive music is just absolutely ridiculous. So, it's something that I had to talk about in a video. So, yeah, let me know your thoughts. Have you guys seen the video? What were your thoughts on it? Feel free to let me know. So on that note, thanks for watching, have a nice day, and take care.